Hey guys, it is Bridal here, and welcome back to our FIFA 13 Career Mode series on Liverpool. And this episode is episode 4, and we're going to look at the shortlist first, also the squad report, and then get into the transfer deadline. After that, we got a couple games as well, so quite a heavy episode with a lot going on, but we're going to get through it, and a good time period here. And I took a lot of your suggestions for our shortlist, so you guys can kind of see who we're working on there. Kazim Richards was a guy that you guys asked for. He's on loan currently, so we couldn't do anything with him. Darren Maddox is a guy that's been getting a lot of comments for him over several episodes, so I actually targeted him personally, trying to see if we could get him. He is from playing in Vancouver as well, so it's kind of an interesting thing that's semi-close to home for me. There you can see a little bit more of the other strikers I've looked at that would be great pickups for us, but a lot of them are guys that we're going to have to look down the road when we have a little bit more money, maybe in the off, once we get some money, hopefully from making the Champions League and stuff like that, we can actually use some of that to bring in a star striker at that time period. But right now, we're going for some smaller guys, some younger guys, can be squad rotation players, and we can bring them in and make a good system here where we can do some good squad rotation, have our star players, but at the same time have some younger players that get some more time, and then they really build up their game, and we're able to bring them up to a level that they're actually potentially star players for us in the future. Just so you guys know as well, a couple people have asked me regarding this series. I'm really hoping to go for a long time. I did my Sheffield Wednesday series, which was not a recorded series, last in FIFA 12, and I was able to make that all the way to season 10. And in that series, I actually had large points where I didn't play the game. I also did, in the same FIFA 12, I did Leicester City series to season 9. So with this one, I'm going to be doing this series and also my League 2, now it's going to be League 1, because I've talked to a couple people that are actually Carlisle fans, and I'm going to be doing a series on them. And yeah, so we'll have that series going on as well, which I hope to do for quite a bit. But this series I hope to do as well for quite a long time. I'm shooting for around 10 seasons or so, which is quite a hefty task, but I feel like I can do it, especially if you guys are supporting in the role. If you guys still want to see the videos, then I'll be more than happy to keep delivering them to you guys. And I really enjoy doing these videos, and I also enjoy playing the game because it's a lot of fun. So you guys will hopefully continue to see more of these videos, and we'll keep going into the coming seasons, far into this series and far into this career mode. So if you guys see me doing some moves that I'm like bringing in a 20-year-old player, bringing in an 18-year-old player, 23-year-old player, I'm really thinking for the future. Obviously, there will be times that we move players out, there will be times that things change, but at the same time, I also want to plan for the future so that if we bring in that guy that's around 70 or so overall, and he's only in his young 20s, that maybe at the end of this career, he's a star player in the Barclays Premier League, and that he's a really great player for us, and we want to be a dominant force. We really want to build ourselves up. The goal is at first to be fighting for a Champions League spot, but down the road we really want to be a dominant force in this league. We want to be winning the title. We want to go for the Champions League title as well. So those things are going to come in time, but we also need to build from the ground up. We do have some great pieces in Liverpool that we're going to keep, and we're not going to get rid of. I don't want you guys to worry, and especially if you guys want me to keep a player, if any big moves are going to happen, I'm going to let you guys know first as well. So there's no, descent in the ranks, if you want to call it that. You guys are involved with this, and that it's not something like, oh, I just sold a player. I know I sold Pepe Reina. Some of you guys were not exactly happy with that. My reasoning behind that decision was obviously because I really wanted to bring in, a young goalkeeper, that could really work well for us for a long time. Bernd Leno, I was looking at Ter Stegen as the guy that I wanted to bring in, but he was quite expensive for what he was. But Bernd Leno's already up to an 80 overall. He's already gone up one overall, and I feel like that this guy can maybe get it to 85, 86, be a really good goalkeeper for us for a very long time, and be that solid force behind, in the back end for us, keeping the D in position, keeping everything in order, and hopefully, bringing us some titles, like I said, down the road. So as you can see, the transfer deadline here ends. We do make some moves. We bring in Maddox, as you guys wanted to see. He's another guy that's not exactly the best. But before I continue with anything else, so transfer deadline ends. I'm like, okay, and it tells us how much we spent, how much the whole league spent. Oh, we got an injury, just from training. Let's look at this email. And it's Luis Suarez. He's out for 4 months. So we're fucked a little bit, but that's okay because we did bring in some players. if I would have known that, maybe we would have requested for more money. Maybe we would have sold some people to really bring in a great striker, so we weren't, you know, in this situation. But now, I don't know. We're in a spot now that I'm not sure. I guess we could bring back Andy Carroll still. That's still an option, but we don't have Luis Suarez for 4 months now. So yeah, let me know what you think about that, because that's a big blow to our chances of doing everything this season. We're still gonna go for it. We're still gonna try and make the Champions League spots, but he's not coming back to January now. So we're floating. You know, if we're shit before on up front, now we're fucking horrible. So excuse my English. But yeah, now we're gonna get into a game. So you can see without Luis Suarez, we're gonna go with our two best wingers at this time right now. Our new pickup, the Barcelona B player. I'm not going to say his name yet because I don't know how to pronounce it. I'll get your guys' help on that. I'm trying to do the best I can regarding that, because there are players that I don't always know how to pronounce their names. But we do have him on the bench. He's going to be a guy that's going to get some time. But we've got Sterling and Asadi on the wings and Maddox down the middle. Now, Maddox is not, you know, like I could have used Barini in this game, but he hasn't really been clicking all that much. So I thought, okay, I'll give Maddox the shot here, see what all the fuss is about, because you guys have been talking about him quite a bit. And I also took the advice regarding playing against, you know, a better team. Manchester City is arguably the best team in the Premier League right now. And I was like, just trying to use as much possession as possible to keep this game away from our end of the field. I did not want to get any possession going into Manchester City, because I knew that, you know, as soon as they started getting the play going for themselves, that was going to be leading to a goal for them. So early on in this game, we actually get plenty of chances going our way, which is quite beneficial. We actually get some good chances here. And there's a pretty good save from Sadi's shot right there. But overall, in the first 15 minutes or so, we really controlled the midfield. We really controlled the play. And I was extremely happy overall of how we were doing in the early parts of this game. Now, it does break down over time, because you can't always keep that momentum going your way. But there was a really nice chance as well that was deflected. It almost went in, but Joe Hart, you know, Joe Hart's a great goalkeeper, and he does the job right there quite well. So at this point, you can see there are some chances going Manchester City's way, but we're still keeping most of the play on their side of the field. And there's a great chance for Maddox, but he's just offside by a titch, so we don't get the chance there, even though it probably would have been saved and nothing would have come of it. Still a very close chance for Maddox, who, you know, didn't have an amazing game, but he was floating around. He did get his chances from time to time. And here's a bicycle kick by Joe Allen there. I was actually quite surprised he took the chance. Obviously, I was trying to head it in, but he's like, nope, I'm going to go for the bicycle kick on this one. And there's a big chance for Manchester City there, where Bernd Leno is able to keep that one. So it's still a 0-0 game at this point, and we're heading into the second half here. So my goal essentially when I was starting this game is like, okay, I want this to be a 0-0 game going into the half, because that felt like a good position to be in. And they do get one more chance at the end here, but at the end point of this half, we still keep this game at a 0-0 draw, which is a pretty good place to be. And as you can see in 1 second here, we're going to look at the match facts, and you'll be able to see that actually we controlled quite a bit of the possession, which was quite nice to see. There you can see the other game that was happening in this period of time. So yeah, the chances were relatively even. You know, they got one more shot on net, but we had 5 actual shots at the net in general, not on target. But you can see our possession was quite strong. It was 63 to 37, I believe, there. And in the second half, we actually continued to keep the play going our way quite well. Sterling here is able to feed over to Sadi, who gets to Maddox. Maddox gets a really nice chance, but just isn't able to put it away. And that should have probably been the one that we got there. But still, nonetheless, we get a corner off the chance. We get a chance here, but nothing really comes of this one as well. So we move forward here now to a change that we're going to make, and we bring off the player here. I think it's Sahin. Yeah, it's Sahin for Henderson. So at the 68-minute mark, we bring on Henderson at this point. Sahin was a little bit tired, and we're also thinking for the next game that we have is against Sunderland, which is in a couple days. The game was rescheduled, this one right here. And there Henderson makes a big impact early, but it just hits the post. So another one that we probably should have put in, but just didn't work out. Maddox at this point was, you know, not really, like, he had a good first half and a good chance there, but we tried to, you know, switch it up a little bit, see if we can get a little bit more energy going there, bringing on Barini. And there you can see the new player from Barcelona B coming on for Asadi. Again, not going to say his name yet. Let me know how to pronounce that one. Now at the 77th minute here, Manchester City gets their biggest chance of the game, but Leno's right there to make a big save. It turns into a corner, though. And off the corner, Some really bad marking. I felt really bad because you know what? This game was a great game by us overall. Dzeko's left right there, all alone, and that leads to a goal for Manchester City. All the hard work that we put into this game, all the possession that we had, goes for naught as we go down 1-0 with 10 minutes left. We still have a chance to get back in this one, but time is of the essence. We get a quick little move here, but nothing really comes of it. And as you can see, the time is winding down at this point. One more chance for us. I'm a little frustrated at this point because I'm passing it around, trying to make a good play, and the ref blows the whistle on me, so that is it. We run out of time, and the game goes to Manchester City. So, you know, for all our hard work in this game, we don't get the win. We still had quite a good game, I think, and, you know, it was quite a valiant effort, but at the same time, it's frustrating because we now gone 1-1-1 to start the season, minus the fact that we did control more of the possession in this game. You know, Manchester City is a really tough team to face, and we're now not at the point that we want to be because we wanted to at least get 2 wins out of the first 3 games, and we're now sitting 1-1-1, so the next game against Sunderland has to be a must-win for us at this point. Now you can see a top story is a poor start for Kex. I don't exactly agree with that because obviously we've had quite tough games, but I do agree with the fact that we've tried to, you know, we wanted to get 2 wins out of the first 3, and we weren't able to achieve that. Even 2 draws and a win would have been nicer because, you know, at least with that, then we would have held 2 of the top clubs to a draw as well. But, you know, with that said, we still are sitting at an alright spot, and we, you know, if with a win coming up, then we'd be able to move ahead and move up in the standings overall. Moving on here, you can see that we get a potential international management job offer from Slovenia and Finland. Obviously, our respect in the international game and the club game is not as high as it will be in the future, so these are a little bit lower than the top-class international sides, but if you guys are interested in seeing us take either of these teams on as our international team along with Liverpool, let me know in the comments below, or should we hold on and see if we can get a bigger fish in the international game and see if we can take them on in the future. Either way, though, I'm actually interested in doing this. I'm really excited to see what it's all about. And at the same time, too, you know, it's going to be a little bit of a way to scouting as well. You're going to see the top players from a certain country. And hey, if that guy's good, then maybe we bring him over to Liverpool as well. So here we're playing against Sunderland, a middle-of-the-pack side where you can see Stuart Downing, an ex-Liverpool player, now transferred over to Sunderland after the move in the transfer window. He's playing against us, and they make a little bit of a deal of it, which is kind of cool seeing that. You know, he's on the bench, but when he comes on, they talk about it when the game starts, just saying, oh, Stuart Downing, he's playing against his old team. What was that like for you? And it's all very cool and very nice to see. I'm really enjoying the presentation of this game thus far, this time around in FIFA 13. So here we're starting the game, and you can see that our striker to start in this game was Sammy Yeshel. We decided to give him a start because I didn't, you know, extremely like what Maddox did, and Barini hasn't been that great either. I decided to give the youngster a shot, and right away here, guys, he curls a beautiful goal right there into the corner. Nothing too fancy, but, you know, right in the corner, no room to spare, and the goalkeeper can't do anything about it. A great goal by the youngster. I'm really excited to see what this guy can do, and especially with this goal being scored, I'm even more excited to, you know, give him more chances in the team. So that's the first goal of the game, relatively early. We get the early goal, and we're going to sit on this one and hopefully take it all the way to the end, but we're going to have some challenges, obviously, from Sunderland, as they're not going to, you know, sit tight for 87 minutes and see this one off. There's an early chance, again, for Sunderland trying to get back into this one. Here we head one back to Leno, so keeping things relatively calm. Overall, the chances in the first half were, you know, kept to a minimum. Both sides had a couple chances, but Sammy Yeshel's opportunity was the only main one that really had an impact, and obviously the goal was the only goal of the game thus far. And yeah, we felt pretty confident going into the second half. Sunderland had their few chances, but whatever went to the net, Leno either, you know, steered away, or, you know, in the other cases, our defense was able to handle it quite calmly, and there was no real mistakes, minus that one little chance earlier on, around the 22nd minute, that you could see some panic. So we start the second half here, and Sunderland gets an early chance on the wing here coming in. They try and feed it right down to the middle, and it gets headed away, but there's a chance here for the Sunderland player, and Leno kind of slips on a banana peel. I don't know what he was doing there, but it leads to a corner. Off the corner, Sunderland feeds it into the box, but it's cleared by our defender, who hits it out, though, to right to the Sunderland player, who takes a shot on net, but Leno's able to calmly keep that one in his hands, as it was nothing too much of a trouble for him. At the 52nd minute here, Sahin takes the shot that's deflected. It leads to a corner for Steven Gerrard. He takes the corner for us there, and it goes right to the Sunderland player, so nothing too much going on there. Asadi takes the shot, and we probably should let this go for a corner, but it leads to just being an offside, as our player was just ahead of the play by a little bit there. Moving ahead, though, a couple minutes, here's a chance for Allen as he takes a long shot, another deflected one. So we get another corner here. After our corners being, not too great, we've had a couple chances, a couple things go our way. We get a nice one here from Skirtle, I believe, right? Hitting one there, and it's a goal line stop by the Sunderland defender. So we could have had a 2-0 lead at this point. At this point, Steven Gerrard comes off as he played a full game earlier a couple days ago. And at this point, he's feeling a little bit tired, so we bring on, I think it was Jordan Henderson at this point to replace him. Now in the 83rd minute here, Sunderland gets their real last chance of the game. They did have chances in this game, but not too much. Most of the chances were similar to this, like you've seen before. Simple chances going right into Leno's gloves. Nothing that he had to really stretch for or anything like that. But as that said, the game does wind up here, guys. So we head this one out, and we get the win against Sunderland. So we are now at 2 wins on the season, 1 loss and 1 draw as well. Obviously, it would have been nice to get the draw from the Manchester City game, but we're still kicking around those spots with a win and a draw here. We're doing all right to start the season, and hopefully we can continue to progress on this. There's the match stats of the game. As you can see, Sacco was the man of the match, and overall the back end was very solid. I enjoyed having Kelly on the right back position there, as he played a pretty good game. I felt a little bit more comfortable with him than Johnson, as Johnson's been a little bit shaky for me. But at the same time, I'll start to rotate them a little bit more, because now I know Kelly is a guy that I can trust in there. The match events here, as well as something I'm going to be starting to show, just so you guys can see, the subs, not than me just showing every single one, which would probably get a bit boring, and a 3-minute match highlights there. But that's the end of this episode, though. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be another one coming up probably tomorrow if I have the time. So stay tuned for that, along with the Carlisle United series, which will be starting up today. But thanks, guys, so much for watching my videos, and thanks for all the support. It's been amazing. I couldn't believe it, starting all this up, and I really appreciate it. So keep watching, and I hope you enjoyed this one as well. Cheers, guys. Manchester City 1.